So today we're going to be working on solving one-step equations. By the end of this video, you should be able to solve one-step equations. When we're solving equations, our goal is always to isolate the variable. So for this first example, we have p plus 8 equals 19. The first thing that I ask students to do is to draw two lines down the equal sign. The reason why is that reminds us to keep our equation balanced. What we do to one side, we must do to the other. So here, if I know that I want to isolate this variable or to get it all by itself, I know I need to undo positive 8 or do the opposite of it, which in this case is negative 8. So we're going to subtract 8 from both sides. Over here, our 8's cancel out. 8 minus 8 is 0, so those are gone. We're left with p. Bring down our equal sign. And then 19 minus 8 is 11. So we get p equals 11. We can always check our work too, because we believe in our original statement, p plus 8 equals 19. If p is 11, that would make this a true statement. So if I plug that back in, 11 plus 8 equals 19. 11 plus 8 is 19, and we get a true statement. So it works out. Now, our actual final answer is this p equals 11. The work that we did over here is just side work to check. Okay, so this is just helpful to you. Go on to example 2. So we have negative 8 plus r equals negative 55. So again, I'll start with my two lines down the equal sign. If my goal is to isolate this variable r all by itself, I need to do the opposite operations of whatever it's on that side. So if I have a negative 8, the opposite of a minus is a plus. So add 8 to both sides. On the left, our 8's will cancel out, leaving us with r. Bring down our equal sign. And in my calculator, I'm going to type in exactly what I see. So negative 55 plus 8 is negative 47. R equals negative 47. So that is the final answer. But now I'm going to take what r equals and plug it back in. So I'll have negative 8 plus my variable r, which we believe is negative 47, equals negative 55. I'll type the left-hand side of my calculator, and I do get out negative 55. So that tells me that my equation is balanced. Good to go. Example 3. This one's a little trickier. We have 24 equals negative 8 times h. Remember, whenever we have a number directly next to a variable, that means multiplication is the operation between the two. So if I'm thinking about my order of operations and what the inverse operation of multiplication is, I know that's division. So this time I'll be dividing both sides by the number in front of the variable, which is negative 8. And I have to take that sign with me. So when we take this 24 divided by negative 8, that gives us a negative 3. Oops, I forgot my lines down the equal sign. We'll keep going though. Equals. Now when I have negative 8 divided by negative 8, these two numbers, not the h, just the numbers, cancel out. And the reason why is because any number divided by itself, so let's start with 1 divided by 1, always gives me back 1. Also, if I had 2 divided by 2, that would give me back 1. In this case, I have negative 8 divided by negative 8, and that gives me back 1. So I can cancel these out, and I'll be left with just h. We've talked before about how the coefficient in front of a number is 1. So that's what we have going on here. We just don't need to write it, and we believe this is our final answer. But what do I need to do next? I need to check that. So I'll have 24 equals negative 8 times our h, which we believe is negative 3. And on the right side, negative 8 times negative 3 is a positive 24. So it looks like this does work out. 24 does equal 24. Final example. Example 4, this is x divided by 4 equals 7. So going back to those inverse operations, the opposite of division is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal. So what I'll have, if the reciprocal of divided by 4 is 4 over 1, I need to multiply both sides by 4 over 1. My 4's end up canceling out, Again, same reason as in example 3, 4 divided by 4 is 1. They're gone. And I don't need to worry about this 1 in the denominator. 1 times x just gives me x. Or excuse me, not 1 times x gives me x. That's x divided by 1. Excuse me, but I do not need to write the divided by. So I'll have x equals, over here, start with multiplying my numerators. 7 times 4 is 28. I'll be left with a 1 in the denominator, but I don't need to write 28 divided by 1. That's just 28. And so I think this is the correct answer, but I'm going to check my work. So I'll have 28, because I believe that's what x is, divided by 4 equals 7. And then sure enough, 28 divided by 4 is 7. So this checks out. Here are your 4 U-tries. Go ahead and bring those to class tomorrow, and any questions that you have.